activate election operations. 10,000 Nscdc personnel deployed as appeal courts inaugurate election tribunal. Okay, a police activate election operations. 10,000 Nscdc personnel deployed as appeal courts inaugurate election tribunal.
Nscdc, are they armed now? Are they allowed to carry arms?
Well, I think it's a conversation they are still having, but there's a degree of arm they can carry now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Because I remember some years ago, there was a policy that Nscdc are not allowed, personnel are not
Now
allowed.
they call them civil defense, so they're not supposed to be armed because they are civil defense.
But in this context, even if it is 2,000, if they are not armed,
it's a problem.
What change?
It's a problem. Well, because of our election, I've always had a reservation about how we've militarized our elections. Usually, you hardly ever see any country in the world where during election you see a policeman at the polling unit carrying gun. What are you doing with gun? Do you understand? Even according to the Electoral Act, there is a distance that a military man is supposed to be
from the
to the polling unit. But you see policeman with gun helping them to move sensitive and non-sensitive material.
To carry him, sling his gun.
And when the voting continues, the policeman will sit down like this, put their gun like this, and they're probably sleeping. So I think the militarization of our election kind of send the wrong signal.
Yes,
but you can't blame them as well. We've seen the worst case scenarios happen in elections in Nigeria.
Violence.
We've seen where thugs are coming to disrupt an electoral process. We've seen snatching of ballot box. Even though with the introduction of technologies into our election, it's making it unpopular to snatch ballot box. But if you snatch ballot box, the numbers are useless.
But ideally, since 2015, we're supposed to go digital. However, the digital is just to mark attendance. It's still bad.
Because it's a bit complicated. You know why? There are regions in this country where there are no networks. There are states in this country where certain local government have been cut off from telecommunication because of insecurity. There are certain communities in Borno, in Yobe, in Adamawa that they cannot make calls because they've had to cut off communication from them because of insecurity that we are facing. So there are a lot of instances like that. But again, if you look at how elections around the world is evolving, you understand that we cannot stick to a problem for so long, right? Those places, what can we do? On election day, can we have makeshift internet service that will just be installed for the election day, and once the election is done, it's dismantled?
Because it's costing a lot.
It is.
The printing of the materials, the logistics, moving it, protecting it.
And you're also disenfranchising some people.
Of course.
Because the people within those communities, if they cannot get their cards read by the card reader, if the beavers cannot, capture them, you have messed up with the entire process. So when the Electoral Act 2026 amended was signed, and people were talking about electronic means of transmission of, results real time, I told them, I said, the entire Nigeria is not Lagos. Do you understand?
True.
The entire Nigeria, you don't think because every local government in Lagos, in Ibadan, in Port Harcourt, in Kaduna, in Rivers would have internet on election day. There are local governments in Borno State, Goza, for instance. There are so many communities in Goza where they cannot make calls. There's no internet. There's no electricity supply. But those people also, they have a franchise that they have to respect. They have to vote.
What would their government be doing? Why wouldn't they have?
That's what I'm saying. That if the basis
of local government,
if the reason that was brought in was to control the insecurity, to prevent the terrorists from communicating with each other, we understand it's a valid situation. But should that make it a reason why you disenfranchise people? No. That thing has been there for many years, more than 10 years. In between that period, what have you done for the people of that community on election day for them to vote? Okay, there's no electricity. Get the mobile solar. On election day, install it. Let it power the card reader. Let it power the internet, capturing. Provide the internet for them. When they are done, you pack it and everybody would go. So when people kept saying that, hey, means of transport, real time, I said, listen, there are some communities in this country where you cannot transfer results real time. You understand?
Yes.
There's nothing like 5G or 4G or 2G. There's no edge. Even to make call is a problem. So you cannot transfer result real time from those communities. So when the Electoral Act was amended. And then the Senate had to call for an emergency and they said, you know what, let us adopt both electronic and manual. It's because of those. I understand the fears of people. Do you understand? But you have to also consider the peculiarity of where we are as a nation. We're battling insecurity, right? And so it's difficult. But within that period, we agreed that you have to cut off communication because of insecurity. But you cannot cut off the right of the people. They have the right to vote. They have the right to choose their leaders, even though they are not being properly led. But at least they still participate in the process. So I'm really hoping that we'll continue to get better with our election as we also try to improve